Welcome to Timebolt Office Hours on June 1st, 2023. You're live with Doug and Quinston. We are here to check your workflows, answer your questions, and generally just make sure that you get the best out of Timebolt. And today we start with a couple brand new exciting product developments, and it all has to do with speed. We have made the Mac M1, M2, M3 optimized. That has basically increased the speed by 300% of non-Intel based Macs. And we now have native HVAC and H.265 preview, meaning you're dropping your file in. There's no more wait time waiting for it to render out in preview and re-encode it to 264. It's the preview's immediate. So pretty much any file now you can, with video preview, you can now edit entirely inside Timebolt and work with our visual effects as well. Quinston, dude, it looks like we've got a few people on the call today. I just want to check in with you guys. How you doing, Peter? TJ, nice to see you.
Hi guys. Hi.
Peter, have we met before? Have you been on this?
I'm one of those who's
So
very light, and I actually haven't been well. I've just done nothing for ages, and then I got quite excited. I might be quite on the wrong track. I don't have Apple. I do use my iPhone to record, and I saw something there that I thought might be relevant. That's to do with on the Microsoft side of things. Am I right, or I completely missed it?
No, you're correct. I don't have a PC. Did you happen to download the new update to 5.2.0 Timebolt?
I haven't yet.
When you do open up Timebolt and you update, this is what is going to happen when you put your iPhone video in. Okay, I just recorded a 4K 60 frames per second HDR, the whole shebang on my iPhone. So this is what it looks like when I drop it right onto Timebolt. Look at that. Boom. Now I've got the Apple Silicon version, but this is something that used to have to go through, and this is not a real video. Okay. I just am talking. You used to have to wait probably another 4 to 5 minutes in order for it to re-encode to H.264. The video preview was degraded and all that. I don't know how Quinston did it. He pulled off some wizardry within our code here. The preview's instant. So that's we're a product that's built on speed. So we believe it's going to be a big benefit to our customers. Just kicking out more videos.
You can play it and show a demo.
I'm sorry.
And then sorry.
Or you can play it. Play the video and you can show how fast it goes through.
Oh yeah. Well, yes, it's going to go by. It's going to go by fast. What I didn't have by the time I got this. We're going to see. But if you can see, it just flows right over the red spots. Okay. It's the video preview is not getting hung up. Let me go ahead and video for that just so that we've got. So this is a Zoom call. This is a Zoom recording. I guess like an hour and 20 minutes or something like that. And how you doing, Quinston? You good? Got a couple people. We'll get one line here. We're going to let some people in. Welcome to the time. If you'll notice, even with the preview, it's as opposed to it having that kind of that 100 millisecond delay or 200 millisecond delay, it skips right over. So you're basically looking at what the finished product's going to look like. So there's not a delay in the preview. Again, this is all about speed and being able to get in and out as quick as possible within Timebolt, and those were our biggest barriers, our biggest blockers to faster editing.
Am I getting this right? Sorry to sound very dumb here, but so if I take a video voice with my camera and then I pull it in with my iPhone, I'll pull it into Timebolt, it just kind of zips, and then I can pull it straight into Camtasia. Is that right? From there?
Yep.
Or am I missing something?
Correct. You're not having to just wait on preview. It's about speed. There's no magic that's going to happen like fireworks going off or anything. But yes, it's all compatible now and super fast to edit and preview inside Timebolt. Your iPhone videos, HVAC videos, your camera DSLR videos, H.265, whatever you want to throw at it. Timebolt is able to handle the preview.
If I'm first having to integrate a microphone sound with the iPhone video, then that's obviously different. I've got to bring those together and then only edit. Is that right?
Microphone sound. You're
separate microphone going into capturing that in another way. So as a separate sound, it's not going into the camera. The sound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that's great.
Yes, you would have to, for that type of setup, you would have to, what I would do first is go into, you say you use Camtasia to do that?
Yeah.
I just combine the two first. Like the first step would be to combine the video and the audio together and then get the video that you can put into time.
Okay. And that would be very fast now because of this new software, the way you've developed the software now. Is that right?
I don't think so. I guess what he's asking is, this doesn't impact putting two video files together. This doesn't have anything to do with that. No,
I'm not talking about two video files. I'm talking about combining
a video and an audio file.
Yeah.
You're not syncing video and audio files up in Timebolt. It's made to process a video and audio file that's already combined.
So that's right. Okay. Look, Sorry, I'm falling into this trap again. I just haven't used Timebolt enough, but I was just fascinated. So I suppose I could capture my sound into my camera, onto my iPhone, and then it would be a much faster process.
Correct. That's what I was going. That's what I was just kind of understanding your workflow first, because I do all those different types of things. But when it comes to, if you want to actually use your iPhone camera, why are you, I guess let me ask you this. Why are you using a iPhone camera video? Like, is it the quality, or are you just not able to pull in your iPhone camera feed and your audio into this, like when you capture?
Camtasia doesn't accept iPhone video directly into Camtasia. It's one of the, but it does, and I think we've discussed this. And your system does that. It does accept. So if one uses the EpochCam feature of the iPhone, then I think one overcomes that. But I still need to work in that. But I'm pretty sure that
I would ask for you to give us another couple weeks, okay, another few weeks to change up we're basically going to be able to change your workflow. Let me ask you if this workflow would work for you. So I understand. Like, why do you capture it? Is there something in Camtasia with Camtasia Capture that you're like, I've got to have that? Like, I use Camtasia Capture because it's the only thing that does X, Y, or Z. Because this is, and it's basically, you're a talking head. Maybe you have your camera on. Are you talking to a screen by chance?
But I'm either talking to a screen, or I'm just talking. I've got a green screen behind me, and I'm capturing and I'm using words when they're appearing before you. What is it called?
Teleprompter.
Sorry. Teleprompter. So that kind of situation. So I'm capturing talking head and a teleprompter, and I just want to bring them together and then edit them very fast. The
part about the green screen, I'm not exactly sure how we can't.
That's irrelevant. No, don't worry. That I'll sort out in Camtasia when I pull it all across to Camtasia.
Well, yes, absolutely. You can definitely do that. You could definitely do that. I'm trying to figure out how to simplify your capture process so you don't have to go through and pull in a video and audio file and sync it up and make that in Camtasia and then export that MP4 and then run that through Timebolt and then do your CM proj file, right? That adds an extra 20, 30 minutes of time that I think we can handle on the front end if you can handle how we capture. This is what we're working on, a brand new capture program. Okay. And what this does is, here, let me just go ahead and, right now I'm using my FaceTime camera, but I want to show you something. I'm going to switch this down to, I'm going to use my Epoch Cam. It's me right now. So this is a screen, right? We're going to be making this where you can go full screen. You can capture different sizes for like square, but you would be able to basically talk like this, pull your video file in, record your audio at the same time, right? You get your audio input, you record your audio at the same time, you hit start recording, and it automatically starts recording your video. Once you get done, it'll automatically kick right into Timebolt with the audio and video file already synced. You can then do your edits. And then and export that right into Camtasia. And if you, at that point in time, you're basically, your green screen is fixed because you're not moving around. It's a video. So that time you could then basically throw up whatever background you'd want to throw on inside Camtasia. Quincy, does that sound about right to you?
We're still working on improving the quality of the video capture. So this video quality is not the most optimized at the moment. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, this quality will be high enough. An iPhone or a DSLR would.
Are you talking about the EpochCam?
Correct.
Because that would totally solve my problem. If EpochCam could be. Yeah.
No, it does work. The EpochCam does work. So the resolution is not full resolution right now. It's lower quality. It does work at the moment. So Doug, can you just pull down the camera inputs and show like which camera inputs are there?
See, this is the one I'm talking on right now. This is my DSLR. This is my FaceTime camera.
I can switch between cameras essentially.
I can switch between cameras. I can decide if I'm doing a screen with the camera or just a screen only shot. And then the quality of this, what we're doing is we're working to figure out what's the optimal way to increase the size of this, get the optimal
resolution, better resolution.
And frankly, what's been TJ, like, we understand some of the sync issues, which we'll talk about. I've been making videos for Quinston as we're going through this on exactly how we would expect it to be used for B2B, for employee to employee video. I think a lot of video doesn't get used because it's still pretty much, you can still control a 5-paragraph email if you don't know how to edit video easier than you can learn how to edit video with every software program. Okay. Except when we show you what to do with Timebolt, because we're making this to where you have your highest quality. You've got stuff that you want to upload to YouTube, but then there's also things like you've got to explain like a software flow, workflow on a screen, or you've got to give some kind of creative feedback. And you're like, maybe if you move this around here and that here, like it's a visual and explanatory scenario where it would take a lot of text to be able to have. Right now, you just put this on standard faster. And what happens is I can record a five-minute instructional feedback video, throw it into Timebolt. It saves it down into like a file size that you can email, like 17 megs or 10 megs. It's not a 300, 400, a gig type file, because you're not going to use it like that, because it's going to take forever to upload. Then it's going to take forever to transcode, blah, 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 blah. Now you've got smaller file sizes for faster, quicker edits that you can throw in the body of an email or in your Slack conversations. But this time, instead of it being 5 minutes, this is what you can kind of see you can kind of hear the difference, right?
Winston, how you doing? Hey, I'm going to see if I can explain this to you real quick.
So this is,
I have a couple of.
That one's like 3 minutes and 40 seconds long. Okay. And then this is what it sounds like. Winston can understand, people can understand information pretty quickly, right? Even like the slower talk sucks. The point is, how do you get into the proper file size and make it watchable inside of a business to business context? I throw on for like our back and forth video, that same video after Umcheck moving dead air, and I put on 1.4x. This is what it sounds like. You get used to it.
Winston, how you doing? Hey, I'm going to see if I can explain this to you real quick. I have a couple issues that I'd like to look at. One is, say I'm speaking like this, okay? What's happening with the viewer? I really like this when you were able to like move it around and resize it. Like it showed the whole picture.
Like that's fast. And when you start watching something like that, you can get that information quickly. You can almost guarantee you're going to get to the end because you're not giving that other person time to think. You're truly explaining what the hell you want to explain. And that's after all this superfluous ums and ahs and stuff were kicked out of this video file. So that's basic. That's our new capture program that is very, very close to getting released, that we haven't told people about yet. TJ's been helping us with that as well.
I can make a suggestion. You can go and you select your different camera. You go to that screen. You can select your different camera and stuff. What would be nice if you had the ability to, as opposed to doing that, some MIDI keys. So for instance, some of us have my new toy, Doug, the Rodecaster Pro 2 has smart pads, which you can program them as MIDI keys. So all I got to do is just hit a button. I can go to camera 1, hit another button. I can go to camera 2, hit another button, go to camera 3. I don't have to jump back to the screen over here to do that. OBS has something, but the one that's being used is only good for version 19 or something like that. It doesn't. When I ran version 19, I got it to work, but there's other issues with that version. They're up to version 23 right now. So this product here, if it has the ability to do the video capture, which by the way, your quality of capturing the video, even though it's still in your beta testing, is much better than what I have with Loom with my 4K monitors and stuff. So you guys are killing it right there. And then if you can have the ability to use a button or do something different than just having to go to that menu and select different screens, because that's going to slow your process down while you're trying to go from screen to screen while you're doing a podcast or something. Just a thought.
Yeah. And those are definitely some optimization tweaks that we'll get into. Give us some feedback on this. One of our objectives is to be able to resize in the right aspect ratio. So the idea is that it doesn't really, what makes like something like Microsoft QuickTime hard to use, and some of these other, you've got, when you want to change the size of your capture area, you're basically using a drag handle control, and then you're like looking at your pixels and trying to line it up to like, what's a 16:9 that's just not full screen? I don't know how to compute that off the top of my head. You can ask ChatGPT, I guess, but those are difficult things. We're like, look, if we play like the whole screen is the canvas, and instead it was like predetermined aspect ratios. So you have a full screen 16:9, then you've got a full screen square, but within your capture area, you're showing a square. So if you're in business or if you're making shorts for Instagram, where you got to have, what's that other aspect? So there's one to one 16:9, and then there's what's that other one for Instagram? 9 16 16:9 and 1:1. The idea would be is that you're just basically, the area of your screen is highlighted for what is going to be captured, and you basically condense your presentation or information or face into that particular size, so that if you're making something for LinkedIn or Instagram, it's already pre-sized for what it is that you're looking to do, and you're not having to shrink down a 16:9 into a square size. So that's what we're working on with Capture, and we're constantly figuring out how to optimize. It sounds like both of you guys have already been through all the workflows and things like that. Is there anything specific I can address about?
Now, could I just ask, come back to your camera, you've got a DSLR. I've got quite an old one. It's a bit of a hassle to set up, where the iPhone's much quicker just to, but also getting the focus right and all that sort of stuff. Have you got automatic focus on your DSLR? So I was told not to use automatic when you...
Let me just show you what my setup looks like. I can do this right through the viewer here. So this right here is the Sony SVE10, the perfect the blogger's camera. Okay, I've got an extended lens on here. I think like an 800 lens, but it comes with the standard lens. It's perfect because what you're looking at right here, I've just got basically one source. It has a clean signal out. I don't have to get what are some of those E-links and those different types of, that basically take out the different, I don't even know what the hell it's called, that takes out all the different writing and digital input information that's on the screen. Okay. Because if you don't have like these E-link converters or something, Quincy, if I'm butchering names,
You're good.
Okay.
I think you just missed the model number of the camera. It's a ZEV10.
What is it?
A ZEV10. ZEV10. Okay, in America you say Z, right?
Yeah.
Here we say Z.
We say Z too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing. It does a clean signal out. So all you got to do is get your cable. I'm connected in with my Mac. I've got all that connected into like a USB power hub that like literally powers everything. And then this is just an always on. This is just my always on battery, right? So it's a plugged in battery. So for $1,000. Okay, you could get this camera, this $135 power adapter, and you'll have your camera set up exactly the way you want. Then you do your audio source, and it does automatic focus and all that, but like it even blurs like the background automatically. There's settings on here where I could smoothen out my aging face, but who cares? Who wants to do that? And it's a perfect camera.
Doug, now look, obviously for your business, you need that. It's way beyond my budgetary and also my needs. It's fantastic. $1,000 in America is relatively cheap to what we'd spend. You'd spend a lot more for the same camera. But that's by the way. I was just thinking of a way to, and I don't even know that I really need DSLR quality. The iPhones, even through Epoch Cam, and especially the way you guys are going, it's
so the iPhone also has a new thing. If you have a Mac, I don't know if you have a MacBook.
I have a very old MacBook. I wouldn't use it for this.
Yeah, so that's our other question. The Epoch Cam makes sense then, because I don't have a DSLR either, and if I have to record something very high quality, I just use my iPhone.
And that DSLR, the tip of the spear for any company is your brand videos. Right? What's going to go on the homepage of your website? What are you going to put like as your hero videos on YouTube? For that type of quality, that's why I've got this. But if I was just doing simple Zoom calls and if we weren't in a video editing company, I wouldn't have a DSLR unless I was a YouTuber.
I was just, because now I don't have a need for that. I was just asking out of interest. I could use a DSLR. I've got, as you, HDMI cable, that sort of link. If someday I really want to try and get a good mugshot, but 99% of the time, I'm very excited by what you're doing with the Epoch Cam and this whole speeding up. It just sounds fantastic. Perfect. I can't wait to get properly stuck in. As I haven't been well, I'm back again. So now
that's once you get that set up, we'd love for you to come back and visit with us and explain to us how your new workflows are going.
Can I just ask while
Sure.
I get the new Timebolt? I've clicked in here. I'm going to so I've got Timebolt 4.6.3. What button do I click to upgrade to go the upgrade? Would I have to do that on the website, or what's the story?
So you can just leave it open for some time. It'll happen automatically. Or if it doesn't happen, you can go to the help section and there's a button called Get Latest Timebolt Version.
So I mustn't go into the app on my desktop. I must go into the web version of Timebolt. Is that right?
The website.
Yeah, the website. Or can I do it from my app here?
Yeah, you can do it from the app. In the app, you can go to help, and then there's the first option is Get Latest Timebolt.
Oh, do you want to? Okay, here it's come up. It's been you're quite right. Update now. It's done exactly what you said. Thank you.
Yeah, 4.6.3. No, you'll have some cool updates to look at there.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. Quinston, you say this will be up in about a month's time. The
version that is right now, it works. Everything is functional. That the video quality of the camera is something we're still experimenting with. So the video quality might increase significantly in the next month. Everything else is functional. Like if you want to record a video and put it into Timebolt, everything works. It's functional.
So what would improve is maybe the
quality of the video and the stability. Yeah,
and that's not a big thing.
And just so you can get your setup going. And it's set up to where once we're like, hey, look, we're out of the beta with our capture. We've got syncing between a voice and audio in both sets of video. I have found that already, and which would be something that you'd be using initially, is that the highest quality recording, Winston, that's been working for us well.
The highest quality of recording is the size of your screen. So if you have a 1920 by 1080p screen, it will record in 1920 by 1080p. If you have a 4K screen, it will record in 4K.
Sorry, I've been in this for ages. So I've got here the new version. I'm looking here and it's got select video audio file. What's not very next? Is that what I click?
So if you want to capture, there's a button with the video camera icon to the right.
To
the
left. Bottom left, eh? Screen, that's screen recorder. Where is it?
Yeah, the screen recorder. That's exactly it. If you click on it, it'll open up a camera icon.
Okay, and then it's screen with camera.
Screen on it. So there is a button for full screening. If you want to make the video cam full screen, you can scroll over to the video cam and click on that button which says full screen, and then it will.
Okay, thank you. Let me play around with that. Let me waste your time.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. That's fantastic. So I might see you in a few weeks' time. Thank you.
Yeah, we hope to see you next week. Come next week and tell us your feedback.
Yeah, it's a good point. Thanks, guys.
What I would do, but listen, what I would do, Peter, before, okay, like after we jump off the line, literally just find an audio source that works, find a camera source that works, okay, whether it's your webcam or whatever, and just keep it on highest quality because that's what you're going to need. That's what you need to do right now. And just hit start record, okay? Do some work. Don't you're not going to be sharing this thing. It's not going up to AI anywhere. Or you on your on your computer. Just talk for like 20 minutes, right? That way, when you hit stop record, what's really going to make people, excite people, it auto pushes right into Timebolt. It automatically, you don't have to worry about dropping your file in or where the file go and all that type of stuff. It automatically drops your file right into Timebolt and cuts it all up so you can basically output a resolution and see if that's a good quality for you. Just make sure that all your parts work together. That way you might be able to actually, if you're just doing highest recording, there's probably a good chance that you can use it right in Timebolt today, right? And it's a super fast workflow. We're working on that faster edit where you can downgrade from a 300 meg file that you're going to upload eventually to like a 10 and keep the quality, keep the voice synced up and audio just right. And then that way that makes a real quick video.
And in terms of speeding up the audio, that's for the receiver to speed up, like you're listening to an audiobook. Is that right? Not on you don't speed it up the person sending the file, the person receiving it. Am I right?
No, that's the thing. Our goal is that people don't even have to speed up here. So this is the video that I made for the support video. Okay, it auto pushed into Timebolt. What you do is that you go down to, you have to activate turbo mode. It's called turbo mode. It increases your rate of speech of everything. The default is 1.125x. You won't be able to tell that it's sped up other than you just sound smarter and faster than real life to the person on the other end. The dead air is gone. It keeps it faster. What I wanted to do was that's maybe for somebody who doesn't know you then, but you've got like peer-to-peer video and stuff where still you're sitting there and watching the screen for 2 minutes, but you want to make sure you're delivering maximum flow of information. That's where like with Quinston, I put this at like 1.4. That's what that sounded on the previous video. This is all very, very fast and simple to do, especially with the new Apple Silicon. Our rendering speeds have gone up by like 300%. There's something about taking a 5-minute video, chopping it down into 2 minutes of high quality, fast information without the ums and ahs, and doing that faster than it actually takes you live.
Exactly.
Faster than the 5.
You won't believe it, but while we were building this feature, Doug was actually using the feature to give feedback about the feature. He was using that feature with the camera, and he was like giving feedback about the feature and then turbo moding it and then time bolting the silence parts. And then for me, when I received that video, I was like, okay, he's talking fast. It's dense information. I can understand it, comprehend it. It's not too fast, but a fully finished product that you see on YouTube, right? When you go to a YouTube video and you see somebody having a jump cut video, you think about how much time they've put into making those cuts, and like that's why they're giving it the information to you so quickly. Imagine one of your employees being able to create that sort of video in like a snap of a finger, send it to you, and you just receive the final information and you can consume it quickly, like a fully finished product. That's the aim with this workflow.
I'm very excited about this because I'm not going onto YouTube anymore. I want to train teachers in some form of mathematics that I'm developing. So if I can do this very fast, it's going to be just so much more effective. I'm very excited about what you guys are sharing here.
Mathematics. Now, mathematics. That is math.
But it's elementary maths I'm working on, not up there.
Well, mathematics is actually one of the subjects that when we were talking about education, like where the structure of how how the structure of how a problem develops matters. If you're already have the numbers up, right, and then you do it, or if you're going through a sequence of events. But if you're going through a sequence of events, you'll be saying the numbers and then writing them, or trying to say them at the same time, then writing them. What Timebolt also offers, it's entirely unique with all these other editors, these AI editors, is that you don't just remove the time, you can also fast forward that time. In mathematics, not only can you increase the speed at which you're talking by 1.125x, but what you do is you can hit fast forward silences. Okay. What this means is I can do something like, if let's say you're writing out numbers, okay, that when you stop talking, if you stop talking and it's under 5 seconds, maybe there's like important information in there. All you do is like, so I'm going to say any silences that are shorter than 5 seconds, I'm going to speed up by 3x. So to give you an example, see all these turn to orange automatically? Imagine if I was writing or I was showing a software flow, like with a mouse, instead of cutting that out, it increases the speed by 4x. So you're like, my name is Peter. Today we're going to talk about applied mathematics, APPLIED mathematics on a board, right? Like they see it. We're going to do the square root of 10 divided by 6. You can say things up front. You can train how you're creating. You can say them up front. And then just know, as long as it's not going to take you 30 seconds or whatnot, you can just automatically go in here and control. Hey, look, anything that's under 10 seconds, okay, I just want to speed up because there's likely good content. Anything over 10 seconds, I'll go ahead and mark to be cut, right? Because that probably is me waiting to transition into a new topic, gather my notes while I don't talk, because now it never even happened in the editor.
Can I just ask something there? This is intriguing. So you talk, let's say you set it for 10 seconds, but you only write for 5 seconds, and then you start talking again. Will it cut out the second 5 seconds or automatically?
No, it won't cut out anything less. You can set it to whatever like your speech pattern is, right? I don't know in math, like whether you're showing software flows or doing math, your times are going to be generally different. Anything less than 5 seconds, okay, a silence less than 5 seconds will then be cut. So let me see if there's here, like right here.
So less than 5. So you got to make sure if you don't want it cut, you must make the silence longer than 5 seconds. That's right.
No, you can set those values yourself. It doesn't have to be 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You can. So the thing is, the first time you do it, you might need to set them manually. But the second time you do it, you probably won't, because you will record the same way, right? You're not going to change your way of recording from one take to the other. So the second time you do it, the values are already saved. You can just use them.
I really like, right now I'm going to do exactly that. So Doug, just going through this. So I go here and I click on the camera on the left. Is that right?
Correct.
The screen, and I go for it.
Yeah, you just go for it. Start recording.
Just go for it.
Play, yeah. record your SO, or I don't know. Like I don't have.
But it's a
record my co-founder.
I'm not selecting a video audio. I'm not pulling anything in. I'm just going live.
Yeah, just go live and then just see what if you have a conversation, even if you have a record, like if you're talking with a colleague and it's an important conversation, like a Zoom call or something, or an internal communication. What I'm doing also with this is that if I'm talking with investors or particular customers that have some unique relevant insight that I hadn't thought about, what I'll do is I'll throw that video in here. Okay. And I'll go ahead and speed it all up, right? Just cut out all the dead air. And then what I'll do is I'll just do like a add to render queue as a WAV audio only file. Okay. Okay. Bam. Done. Okay. That's 5 minutes. Cut. So now I've got a WAV audio only file that I then just click this, right? And your menu bar pops up. Now I can just do, I share this with my iPhone. Now when I'm out on a run, when I'm going to work out, when I'm going to do something like that, I have that recording on my iPhone optimized for time, where half the time, and it's easy to listen to your own podcast, to review information and make sure you're missing.
You just mentioned something there. I've got a Zoom H4n, is it H4n recorder? So that's a WAV file, audio. So I could pull that in here and it would do sort all of that. WAV, doesn't matter what format.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Correct. You can take a video. Sometimes the video doesn't math. I'm sure it's, but there's just going to be some instances, right? You can take it from a video file just down to WAV, so that that's a really fast transferable file that you are going to save 4 or 5 times the amount of time that it's going to take you to use it in Timebolt to edit it, to save that time, right? You'll spend 5 minutes. You'll spend How fast was that? If I was just worried about, concerned with, hey, I don't want to be listening to dead air in the car, right? I don't want to be listening to dead air. I could do this in a matter of, with this particular file, I could get the whole thing rendered as a WAV in probably 30 seconds. The Timebolt.
All right.
Edited, downloaded as a WAV file, 30 seconds. And I saved myself 10 minutes and actually kept it interesting to where I'm going to listen to it and it's recoverable. So that's what these quick videos, making everyday video easier and faster so that it's actually used versus, hey, it's going to be easier for me to write a 5-paragraph email is where we're wanting to go with this. Capture.
One of the pieces of software which I really want to get into, it's from the TechSmith bundle, is Snagit, which struck me as having a good role, where it's a much simpler capturing screen. And I don't know if you've come across it, but it looks like this thing of peer-to-peer interacting. You're trying to show them a bit of workflow software, whatever. You don't have the whole Camtasia overheads, and it's got its place for the fancier video. I don't know if you've come across it, but
well, no, there's like these, there's capture tools, right? So capture, it's so easy to like open up, capture a video and take a video. It's not easy to hit record. What's hard is getting somebody to watch at the other end, right? I'm not planning on sending my partner. I know his time's valuable. I don't want somebody to send me a 5-minute support video. We're going to train people on support videos using Timebolt's capture tool. Right? Like, show us a workflow inside Timebolt. Show us your workflow to get over here. How did you install this? And then once you hit stop record, now that's going to cut out all the dead air and all the crap, right? And now they've got a small file size that they can include with their support ticket that, so I can actually visually see. They're not going to have to go through, set up OBS, create a freaking 300 meg file because they're using a DSLR camera and they're only recording YouTube video, right? We're trying to solve the problem of being watchable. Also, people don't like to just jump on a camera and make a video because you also know the type of video that you're actually prone to watch. You don't want to like send somebody something that you yourself aren't going to sit through and watch. You're on the record. That's where cutting out all the dead air and sounding smarter and faster than real life is also a benefit. It makes you not so camera shy. Right? If you can make this super fast and something that's optimized for that person's time, it just makes you look good as a professional.
You're really on quite a niche market. Well, I don't know how niche it is, but there's a big place for what you guys are doing. Obviously, that's why you're doing it. So
we just launched thank you so much, Peter. I appreciate these questions. We just launched Timebolt Teams. Okay. Just so for B2B, for enterprise customers, we've got enterprise customers, EDU customers. We now have an enterprise pricing package. You can now do subscriptions. Here, hold on 1 second. Let me just turn this off. So what this is, you can now do multi-seat ordering. So if your institution or business wants to order 50 of these license keys, they can now have one admin email and all 50 are bundled in an annual subscription price. You can add or remove keys. You can then add or remove members, change members, issue new keys, all within a central management console. And as employees come and go, these keys are all updated, which is not possible with what a single ordering system. All right. So Quinston built this. This is a heck of a tool. That's what we've got the way to order Timebolt now. Now we're working to get it to where our capture and editing process is super refined.
I got to say, if I was Australian, I'd say you clean up real good there.
I said the same thing.
Oh, you scrub up. I don't know. Australians got away. So you scrub up real good. I've just had an idea on that because I'm not deep educator. I'm a farmer by background, but I'm really interested in the learning process. When you showed that, I thought ways of teachers connecting quickly with the other about an idea they've got or something they want to teach to another teacher to teacher. And I suddenly thought, wow, maybe there's something there in that team's idea. I didn't quite get it all. There was something there that I thought, okay, this could be fantastic. But obviously,
with teacher to teacher, peer to peer, employee to employee, small teams way, because right now you'd have to order a key. Everyone would have to order their own. And then what happens when an employee leaves? So what program am I supposed to buy? This is how an organization can maintain control over, hey, look, I know each year we're going to have 25 seats of Timebolt and we know who they're issued to. Each one has their own key. And when an employee leaves, we can just remove that member. My increased seats goes up by one. I can reissue that key to a new employee or use this kind of onboarding and get your IT department involved early, because the pro of Timebolt, okay, the con of Timebolt is that you have to have admin privileges. It is software that's installed on your computer. So you have to have admin privileges to do that. Not much software is like that today anymore. It's all cloud-based, right? So if you're an employee, it's really easy to go sign up for something and go through a browser because you're not actually, but you have to go through you go in through a browser, you don't have to talk to your IT department. Now with Timebolt, the pro is that you don't have to, like the major, you don't have to send every company conversation to some AI transcription learning machine, okay, to get watchable video. The algorithms, not transcriptions, run on your computer to cut out all the dead air, which is about 80% of the work. If you want to remove the ums and ahs, you can choose to share it with a transcription editor, right? But that's so that enables not every business company and business and employee conversation you probably want to be sharing with an AI learning machine, right? So that's kind of the pros and cons. So once you have Timebolt on your machine and you've got IT to allow that process to happen, you can really enable some quick employee to employee video. We were talking about file sizes that you can just drop in an email. Hey, check this out. This is how I do X, Y, and Z. Boom, right? And they're playing it right from within the email because it's 10 megabits. It's a 10 megabit, 10-minute long file.
At what point was this ready, what you've just referred to, this very quick crunch into small? Is that very recent or has that been around for a while in Timebolt?
No, this is something we had to get dead air right, check right. We built for the extremes for the YouTubers, right? Because they're the ones out there talking about this to get our affiliates up. And now we're coming back to capture, where I've personally got a background in enterprise video. Like that's how I sold Cultura, a company called Circle HD that does enterprise video platforms, which is like a company TV, company YouTube, right? It's secure internet video platforms. I've just seen a need for this, and it's fantastic just to kind of be in a position. Quinston's just a wizard at developing these things to now enter into the B2B world where we just think that there's a lot of people that are still camera shy. You talk with a lot of employees, they're still trying to figure out how to record a goddamn PowerPoint screen, which is already in variable bitrate format and jacked up. Like, we just want to give all employees a real simple way. Loom, that's great. Their capture program's awesome. You can share the video and do all that stuff. Like, but again, it has to be watchable, right? Like, people aren't not making video because it's not easy to make and effectively share. What's happening on the other end? That's you on the record. We're combining.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point about making it so good that YouTube quality. Like, you go onto YouTube, you watch a video that somebody else made. They have those perfect jump cuts. They have those perfect timings between those sentences. That's the kind of video that we want each employee to share. And it has to be incredibly information dense. It doesn't have to waste their time. It needs to be intelligible. It needs to be, and that's the aim with capture, so that we can capture with Timebolt, make sure it's easy to do quickly, and drop it directly into Timebolt, edit out everything that's not necessary, and then create a finished product that's like as good as any YouTube video you'll ever see within a span of 10 minutes. 5 minutes, 2 minutes.
Now, I'm really finding this conversation interesting. I know you guys have got a busy life out there. So let's just say, for my instance, I don't have to think of making a file to put into Timebolt. I can just do it straight, if I understand correctly. And it's boom, it's done. I don't have to think about all the...
You can open the capture thing. You can select your camera. You can select your microphone to start record. Once you're done, stop record. And then that file will directly come into Timebolt, be edited completely with the silences removed. And that's it. You can just...
Then I can pull it into Camtasia if I want.
Correct.
With green screens and stuff like that, we understand as we can see, it's about like, what are you capturing? We know when you got all these different formats, like if you got to make something for LinkedIn or for Instagram or for YouTube, these little peripheral things, like, okay, now you got a green screen. How do we completely remove your background for you so you don't have to do that in another program, right? Like there's like a fine line between like what you can capture and edit very quickly versus, hey, it has to do with the size of your audience too, right? If you want to look good in front of 5 people as much as you do in front of 100, but to reach 100 might require more depth, right? That requires additional design elements. And that's what design editors are for, right? We're just looking to get you into those design editors as quick as possible.
Yeah. Sorry, can I just ask a question here? If let's say I'm using Snagit, I'm doing something on my screen that I'm storing, but I want a little mugshot in the corner, but not that I might want to move around or just so that my talking head's there. Am I right that Timebolt doesn't do that? That has got to be something I do in my video editing.
No, it's not like Camtasia. These aren't two different. These aren't two different video files or however they do it. You just move it around. It's a linear process. If let's say I wanted my little talking head to be up in the top left because I've got on my PowerPoint all the content on the right hand side. Yeah. I'm talking about that and I'm set up fine. And then I go to my next slide and the content's on the top left, and now I've only got room for my head on the bottom right. Just stop talking, go through, move. Like you could you could literally,
yeah, exactly. You could drag the
camera away and plan it and take notes because in the end, when that pushes into Timebolt, that time is not going to be there. It's just cut for you automatically. So all you're going to...
I mustn't ask more questions. I must play. I don't have enough play time behind. Thank you. Thanks,
absolutely, Peter. You always bring on some great conversations, and appreciate all the questions. And please come back in a couple of weeks after we get this thing updated, or whenever you want. And love to hear your feedback.
Okay, thanks, guys. Go well.
Yeah, thank you for using Timebolt. And Quinston, do you have anything else that you would like to discuss before we've been getting questions, and I think they're valid questions. Why isn't Umcheck? Can we make Umcheck free? I see that these transcription services are free. It automatically transcribes it on my machine now. So it has transcriptions, and they're like, why do I have to, can we make it free? And the problem is those transcriptions are like on a they're cutting out paragraphs, right? So we're talking about very specific words and combinations of keywords, and the type of transcriptions that we use, you have to pay for. These aren't free to Timebolt. If they were, we would pass that on. I legitimately see that's also would be a great business.
Yeah, so most of these companies are using something called OpenAI Whisper. And the issue with OpenAI Whisper is the same, that it basically gives you a paragraph of the video instead of giving you individual start and end timestamp of words. That's what we need if you want Umcheck to be incredibly accurate. We want the words to be detected as start and end. In OpenAI Whisper, you get the entire paragraph. There is a library that tokenizes these words into timestamps of start and end. But the problem with that library is not accurate at all. Like it's very inaccurate, and I am not comfortable with even shipping a free product that's not good.
What's the point of if your words are cut in the middle, if they're cut the wrong way?
I would suggest, like, my approach is very simple. Like, if a customer has a service that does it for free and they can get access to the start and end of the words, they would want us to make a converter for that particular format, so we can convert that file into a file that is compatible with that transcription text file into a file that is compatible with Timebolt. I'll be very happy to build like that converter and just plug it into Timebolt and just have it. Like, if you think that you have access to a transcription service that's free and gives you that information, just let us know and we'll build a converter for that service. I'm completely okay with that. I personally do not want Umcheck to cost money, but we can't help it. Like, we have to pay for a transcription service to generate the transcription. So because we want those words to be accurate.
Absolutely. Because if we could find something that does what it does, that actually provides those timestamps, Timebolt's half the price of Timebolt is half the price and does of every other service, because
it's not even that. Like, we have spent so much money trying to find ways in which we can do Umcheck without using transcriptions. Like, it is insane. We spent like 6 months of our time, so much money just figuring out, like, can we do something locally without transcriptions? And it was just impossible.
Like,
we looked at audio waveforms, we looked at audio signatures, repeating audio signatures. Yeah, that completely failed.
I also think that as we're going through this process, I am learning a lot more about Umcheck, and not just about my speech patterns, but like it's about the accuracy of the transcriptions, right? And if they have a lot of these transcriptions will say something's 100 milliseconds when it's actually like 200 milliseconds, and then it'll cut off the middle of an so you hear the part. Then once you start looking at it, and we're working to improve our default keywords. Okay, once you start looking at it, you're starting to see the the ahs, the likes, they are always preceded by and like, so, right? Like, that would be cut out. And when you combine those, it decreases the error rate of just single word. You don't want to cut out all likes, but you want to cut out and like. and that's something that we're working on, those keyword combinations. Look at your transcripts, try and combine as many of these filler words with another adjoining word, because then you're going to find that Umcheck works. You're going to love it, because then it goes in, truly cutting the fat off a steak, right? You don't want to cut down the middle and cut out the fucking middle of the steak. You trim your fat, right? And the fat's on the outside. It holds in, it's holding in the meat of what you want to say. A bunch of puns intended there, right?
Yeah, and people might think that I'm not serious about building the converter, but I am. Like, I would want Umcheck for people, like, to be free. Like, send us the files. If you have a transcription service that does it for free, send it to us. We'll convert the file, and we'll make a repeatable converter that you can just play from your software.
Because we know it's going to happen eventually.
Yeah, eventually, every transcription is going to be free. Like, eventually, there's no cost. Yeah.
Exactly. And when that's happening, we're right there, and we still got the pricing model, and certainly we'd like to do that. We know people. One of the other question that we had yesterday, people that are using it love it. The question is, would there be a way to pay for credits? That's a whole different. That's a whole.
That will come. Eventually, that will come.
But the thing is that when it comes to paying for credits, that takes a lot of our time to build up an ordering system like that, when in 6 months somebody may say, hey, look, a Whisper just got time coded based stamps for each one of the words.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Turn it around and make it free anyway. And we lost all that time over there where we could have been developing Capture or other unique ways to join videos prior to. So right now we're just going to have to suffer with saving your thing on Stripe and just click and pay, right? But we understand where you want to go with this. That does it. Quinton, is there anything else?
No, I'm done. Yeah.
Cool. I'd like to connect after this. That does it for office hours on June 1st, 2023. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and of course, hit the notification bell when we go live. And I'm out of time.